Well, I think we've seen some very impressive entries, very innovative entries, where people have clearly put a lot of effort into presentation and designing their entry. Unfortunately, we've also seen some very poor entries where people once again have left out key pieces of information. And so it's very difficult to compare them, because on the one hand, you've got a very full and comprehensive entry. On the other hand, you've got very sketchy details. So my message to restaurants is, please take your time, put a lot of effort into your entries, and you really will stand a much better chance of achieving success. There were some sort of very high-class entries. There were some newcomers, new names that perhaps we haven't seen before at the awards, and some of them have actually surprised me with the quality of their presentations and also the innovative nature of their food. Of course, there are also some old favourites, people we've seen over the years, and they continue to display a consistent excellency that we would expect.
Well, coming here again for the second year as president of the Restaurant Association and also as the owner of an Indian restaurant, which I'm very happy to be, I was very impressed today with the quality, especially of the newcomers. We saw lots of new initiatives and new styles of restaurants. I love the way that the old style of curry house Indian restaurant seems to be of the past, and we now have new menus and new designs and new marketing, which I think is very impressive. Today we have a completely different medium of publicity out there now. We have the internet, of course, and we have Twitter, and we have Facebook, and we have all these things, and I think it's really important that the curry houses, Indian restaurants, Indian chefs and owners actually look at this, because lots and lots of other venues, of course, are doing this, and we're all restaurateurs at the end, and we want to get as much publicity out there as we possibly can. So, you know, tweet. Let's have a lot of Indian restaurants tweeting.
Guys, you know, if you're going to enter for these things, and it does take time, get everybody together, work hard at it, and read it over twice before you fill things in. Look at it, go through it, and double check it. If you need be, get somebody else who's completely nothing to do with your restaurant to check it over with you, just to make sure that things come in correctly, because you do lose points.
I was a bit disappointed that, I mean, it's kind of a reflection of the catering industry, where it looks like some of the people who entered just did it like after a long shift, and it was kind of a rush thing. But they should see every entry should see it as an investment for the future, and it should reflect who they are. Yeah, I mean, some entries were quite poor, but it should be a reflection of their restaurants. Yeah, some areas were inexistent, others were very strong in other categories. Yeah, so it's I hope they will improve for next year. Yeah, and my advice to them is probably to start today to apply for 2014, because don't do it in a rush.
Every year, as a wine merchant, as a wine consultant, I always do look at the wine list. And some restaurants are doing a very good job. For some, it is still an afterthought. And to my mind, there is no excuse for this, in as much as every restaurant can find a good merchant who will put together a good selection which will match the foods. We've worked very closely with restaurants like L'Orage, who have a range of wines that complement the dishes, and there is no reason why all of you guys out there cannot find a good merchant who will do the same for you.
Le Curry Award est la plus belle représentation de la gastronomie bangladesh and indienne. C'est une référence. Les Français, quand ils viennent en Angleterre, ils voient le curry à voir, ils vont au restaurant.
And because of my connectivity with the Bangladeshi and Indian restaurants all over the country, by providing the different trainings for those people who work in this industry, I have noticed that this industry is actually getting better day by day. I think the hygiene score is most important in this industry, because even the government is taking it very seriously. And today what I've noticed that most of the applicants, they got 5 scores on the road, some of them got 4, which is excellent and very significant, and which is a positive sign for the hygiene improvement.